Hey guys, welcome to oddsmarket.com. Mr. Nigel Seeley is on the line to give us his value picks for the Champions League Tuesday and Wednesday. Nigel, thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem. I'm in a festive bar in London, looking around very Christmassy in here, having a great time, looking for the value bets. And I've actually concentrated on one big game, and I found some really good value on it.
Yeah, well, the biggest game definitely has to be Bayern Munich versus Atletico Madrid. Is that the match you're talking about?
It is actually, Natalie. I tell you what, it's a bit of a dead rubber because Bayern Munich are going to finish runner-up, Atletico Madrid are going to win the group. And I think this is really quite hard when people look at the games and they think, okay, one of these teams are going to take it seriously, one of them aren't going to take it seriously. I think both of these teams aren't going to take this seriously. I believe that this game here could be set out to be a perfect draw. I really do. There's a total dead rubber, nothing to play for either side. Bayern Munich have some huge games domestically. They've got Leipzig in a couple of weeks, who are top of the Bundesliga. Atletico Madrid have Villarreal, the team that I really like when we've spoken about La Liga before. I think they've got a great chance. And I think you'll find this game could turn out to be a draw. Now, the other thing about it is there's a total contrast in styles. Bayern Munich, very good going forward. Defensively, not so great. Atletico Madrid, brilliantly defensively, not so good going forward. Scored 7 goals, let in 1 in their 5 games. I think under 2.5 goals here is a brilliant bet as well. I think at a big price, this game could be 0-0. I think it's turned out to be a complete non-event. And I think 0-0 here in this game is a huge price. And I think this one here, it looks a tricky one to call. People might look at Atletico Madrid and think they're a price at 5.0, 6.0, whatever you can get. But for me, I think the draw here is value. Both teams sort of save a little bit in reserve, look at some big domestic games and go for it in the last 16 of the competition. But I think this game could be a draw.
Yeah. Nigel, do you know what? Absolutely same page here. I've got my notes. KG match, under 2.5 goals. You get those odds of 2. I like the draw as well, but I'm going to take the draw at half time, 2.25. A little bit worried that one team may wear the other one out or nick a goal in the second half, something like that. So I'm paying the draw at half time. What about obviously your team? You're an Arsenal supporter. They head to Basel. Arsenal 2.42. The reverse saw 2-0 to Arsenal. Seems like we've got some good value there on that Gunners win.
I wouldn't back them, I wouldn't back them. They've already qualified. They know they've got to go and win it. But I think they know realistically they've got to hope for Paris Saint-Germain to slip up, which is not going to happen, I don't think. So I think they're going to put out a reserve side. I think they're going to be very under-strength. Basel need the result to get into the Europa League, so that's very, very important for them. It's a very tough place to go. Man United went there a couple of seasons ago, got beaten. Liverpool have got beaten there. Other big clubs have got beaten there. So I don't think Arsenal really care about this game. I think it's all about the Premier League for them. So on paper, you might turn around and say 2.42 is a good price. If they needed to win the result, they'd be 1.6, 1.65. I think the price is reflective of the game. One thing I do expect in that game is goals. I really do. I think whoever Arsenal play, if they play Giroud, they rest Sanchez. Sanchez was unplayable at the weekend. I can't see him playing. He's had a really tough scored a couple of months with Chile as well. And I think they'll rest some players. But one thing I do think in that game is goal. I think both teams will score. I think it'll be over 2.5 goals. It could be anything, that game. I really do think that could be a real end of Champions League group. A 3-2, a 4-3, something silly like that. But one thing I don't think Arsenal are that good a price. I really don't. I think they're a side to me that just, if they go there, they know they're going to finish runners-up. They finish runners-up every time they're playing Champions League. And for me, 2.42, maybe a price that some people might look at and think is attractive, but not for me.
But they're equal points here to PSG. This win could win them the Group A.
This is a great playing running, though, Natalie. I mean, if PSG go 1-0 behind, then basically back Arsenal, because Arsenal have everything to do to win. If PSG are struggling at 0-0, it's one game. If PSG are 3-0 up after 25 minutes, Arsenal mean nothing. They could. It means it doesn't make any difference if they lose 6-0 or they win 6-0. So it's one game to keep an eye on what's going on at PSG. And then back your Arsenal. It's an in-running game, this game. This is a real game to make sure, see what's happening. If PSG are 2-0 up at half-time, does it matter if Arsenal win? They'll take everybody off. They know they're going to finish runners-up, and they'll rest them for the big Premier League games that are coming up. So, but if PSG are 1-0 down, then 2.42 will be 1.8 in very quick time.
I don't know. Again, Basel they've got 2 points just from 2 draws. They haven't won a single match in the group qualifications. I just think Arsenal will be too strong for them. Plus, don't forget, Arsenal come from a whopping, which I probably don't need to remind you, 5-1 West Ham win. I think Arsenal got this. I say there's value, but I do agree as well that there are goals. But listen, let's move on to another match now. Interesting match is Porto versus Leicester. Leicester, boy, are they different teams. Obviously, Premier League, bloody lost to Sunderland, didn't they? And then, but in Champions League, they're undefeated. They go to Porto. Porto are at a low price, 1.35. Leicester, they're priced 11. I think there's value in Leicester. Yes, they do not need to win. Yes, they've won. I think they're like 6 points clear of Porto. I think that they'll want to win personally, but I tell you where there's value. Leicester plus 1.75, 1.7, or Leicester plus 1.5, 1.9.
I do think you're, if you just come off an aeroplane and you didn't know anything about the television, you looked on the thing, you saw Leicester 11, you'd be all over it. If you looked at Leicester and thought 1.75 start at Porto. But you've got to remember, Porto, however poor the Portuguese league, going to Porto and Benfica is always a very, very, very tough ask. Now, Leicester, they've already qualified. They want to do well. Will they risk the players? They will do. They will do, because they know that their league form is irrelevant. They're in a relegation battle in their league form.
Yeah.
But the problem for me here is that I just don't think they're good enough to win this. I don't think they've got any intention to win it. They turn it on and off when they want. And backing Leicester at the moment should come with a public wealth warning, because what they're doing is they can turn it on when they want and turn it off when they don't want. And for me, I just wouldn't want to take the risk on them. I do think 11.0 is a big, big price. I really do. I do think plus 1.75 is something that I would probably back. If Porto win 1-0, they've got the 3 points. That's all they care about. So for me, I would back the 1.75. But this one, again, I can see Leicester changing 7 or 8 players, putting out a reserve team. Kasper Schmeichel is still out, which is a big blow for them, the goalkeeper. But I think goals are on the menu again here. But opposing Porto at home in European football over the last few years, regardless who they play, has been a very, very bad thing to do. They are exceptionally good at home, terrible away from home. And I can't see an uninterested Leicester winning this game. But will they lose by more than 2? Not so sure, but I think they will lose. I wouldn't back them with the prices, but I think goals could be on the cards.
All right, well, a match that is expected to have lots of goals is Man City versus Celtic. Man City low price there on their turf, 1.35. The reverse, 3-3 at Celtic. Over 3 goals is where the price starts getting good, and that's about 1.8. Any value in that, Nige?
Probably yes, because I think Man City will play all the reserve players. Aguero is obviously suspended after what he did at the weekend. Manchester City were terrible. It was a massive disappointment for Pep Guardiola. I can see him making a wholesale changes. A lot of fringe players coming in trying to make a point, because there's going to be team places up for grabs in the next game. I can see people like Raheem Sterling coming in playing well. I could see other players coming in and doing a good job for them. I think Man City will win. I think both teams will score. I think this could be a real hard task for Celtic. Man City are a wounded animal after what happened at the weekend against Chelsea. They need a performance. I can see Pep Guardiola. Every player who says about Pep Guardiola says he's got a nasty streak. The Man City players will see that nasty streak, and I can see them going on and absolutely pulverising a very poor Celtic side. And I think this could be very embarrassing for Celtic. Manchester City will win by -1.5, and I think there'll be goals in the game. Both teams will score. I'm going 4-1 Man City.
Wow, big scoreline there. One of the match here, Tottenham versus Moscow. Tottenham, what a performance they put against Swansea. They enter strong, they're on their turf. 1.53, certainly not a bad bet for an accumulator. Or to bring it down, Tottenham -1, 1.9. Any value in this match?
Not for me. I would oppose Tottenham at all costs. They haven't won one of their games at Wembley. They've been terrible at the home game. And also now Pochettino's thinking to himself, we're going for the Premier League title. Do we really want to be in the Europa League? If they win this game, they're in the Europa League. If they win the game before and it was Champions League, it's very different. They get the Champions League, get the money. Do they really want to be in the Europa League? Of course they don't want to be in the Europa League. So I think they're a massive lay at the prices. I want to take them on. I think Moscow got a great chance. I think Moscow plus 1.5 goals or 1 goal, whatever you want to do, is a great bet. Tottenham do not want to be in the Europa League. That's what suffered them last season when they were going for the title. They run out of legs at the crucial stage. They can't get into the Champions League. They don't want to be in the Europa League. I don't fancy Tottenham at all at Wembley, which they haven't won at, and also at Wembley, which is going to be half empty, this stadium. You can buy tickets online for 10 quid. No one wants to go. Tottenham will not win this game.
Wow. All right. Listen, before I let you get back to your festive party there, what would you say sort of the best bets taking place over Tuesday and Wednesday? Which ones would you advise our viewers?
I'm going to back the draw in Atletico Madrid against Bayern Munich, or Bayern Munich against Atletico Madrid. I'm going to back Moscow plus 1 goal against Tottenham. They're my 2 best bets.
All right, fantastic stuff. That's Nigel Seeley, guys. Thanks for watching.